Hey, what's up, guys? This is Kay from Lunarlight Games, and thanks for dropping back in. Hello, and welcome to our channel. If you're new, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Help us keep growing our channel. And if you're interested, we have a ton of things going on with our Twitter page. Make sure to check that out. I believe I made a community post over here on YouTube as well. Make sure you guys stay up to date with that, if you're interested at all. Anyway, welcome back to our playthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition. Alright, where are we at? Today's session might be a little bit more laid back, since we're needing to deal with the aftermath of Wicked Eyes and Wicked Hearts. If you have missed out on that session, make sure you guys go back to our playlist and check it out. It is a long session, but it is a very interesting one. Alright, let me see, what can I do here? Just need to get the stream set up, and we'll get rolling. Okay. We have a number of things to do. After we've completed Here Lies the Abyss and Wicked Eyes and Wicked Hearts, we have a new story quest. This is What Pride Had Wrought. I think this is near the penultimate story quest. I think there might still be one or two more after this until the very end of the game. But we're on the home stretch now. Still, we have a lot of side content to cover. Let's go ahead and start this. Let's go speak to our favorite companion.
Will you not consider it, Lady Cassandra? The clerics are still sequestered. If no one steps forward, they will debate until...
And you think I could make them agree? I've had enough for one day, Mother Giselle.
Talk to her, your worship.
Is there a problem? It seems like she's bothering you.
Mother Giselle is kind, and she means well. So, yes, she was. I assume you've heard that Leliana and I are both candidates to be the next Divine. Because of what happened at Halam Shiral, of course, the Empire favors you. Thus, everyone close to you. So now the Chantry bandies our names about without even asking us first.
Oh yes. We have to choose who we want to become Pope. I think I discussed this before. We have two options before us with a possible third, if you at all care about that. I don't really, so really it comes down to two choices.
How can you and Liliana be candidates? You're not even priests.
It's not without precedent. Amar III was sister to the Emperor, and Galatea a commoner. Liliana and I were, at least, part of the Chantry hierarchy. It would be accepted.
Oh, here's a nice dialogue option.
If they'll pick non-priests, why am I not a candidate?
Because you're a mage, first and foremost. If they name you a candidate, they may as well join the Tevinter Imperium. Truly, though, I imagine it's because they're frightened of you. A weight such as yours would break the Sunburst throne and tear the Chantry to pieces. I just don't know why they believe Leliana or I would be any better.
Alright then, if you don't want to do this, then refuse. Although in our case, we actually want her to be the Pope, so I'm going to say you'd be perfect.
I think you'd make an excellent divine.
Truly? I never look good in hats. Surely it was never meant to be like this. The Chantry, the Circle of Magi, the Templars. This cannot be what they intended when it all began. The Chantry should provide faith, hope. Instead, it cannot veer from its course, even in the face of certain death.
I'm surprised to hear you, of all people, say that.
Oh? Am I not the same woman who declared the Inquisition against the Chantry's wishes? In all my years as a Seeker, I did what I was told. My faith demanded it. But now my faith demands something else. That I see with better eyes.
If you're concerned, then make it better.
Did you know Varric is Andrastian? Oh, he blasphemes with every second breath, but deep down he believes. His heart is virtuous. But he would never step foot in a Chantry. It should be the first place to which the virtuous turn. It needs to change. Perhaps I must be the one to change it.
Oh, cool. We have some different dialogue trees to investigate.
You're not the only candidate. What about Liliana?
Liliana says she wishes to follow Justinia's legacy. But she and I remember a different person. Justinia knew her fellow clerics and the people would only accept so much change. Liliana would cast it all aside and start over, I think. And that would be chaos for us all.
Truth be told, that's what I went with the first time around. There is an option to tone down Liliana's rhetoric and turn her into something more nobler. Which is actually pretty crazy if you think about it, because she advocates a lot of new things that nobody else in this game's world wants.
What would you change about the Chantry?
The Circle of Magi has its place, but it needs reform. Let the mages govern themselves with our help. Let the Templars stand not as the jailers of mages, but as protectors of the innocent. We must be vigilant, but we must also be compassionate to all peoples of Thedas, human or no. That is what I would change.
What does this option do? Oh. Well, I mean, do we really want to hear everyone else's side of the story?
Your determination is admirable.
I do nothing that is not worth doing with all my heart.
It's your most attractive trait.
Well, this one's pretty cool. This is only available with that one perk. But I wonder if you have to choose who becomes divine immediately right now. I don't remember having to do it just yet. Also, I don't think I ever went over this, but in the course of playing the game and choosing who you want to be the Pope, there's also a hidden statistic as well, in addition to the companion approval system. And that system is exclusive to these three candidates. It is also based upon the dialogue system as well, though that system isn't really shown in game, unlike the companion approval. That does show up, just not in hard numbers.
I have influence, and I can use it to help the Chantry make up its mind.
I cannot ask you to do that.
You don't have to.
If you think that is the right thing to do, then thank you. I suppose I should not be so concerned, The clerics speak my name for now, nothing more. For now, restoring order and stopping Corypheus remain our priority.
Well, there you go. There is an operation available. Should you so choose to have Cassandra take the office of Pope.
To see you.
So, you're a candidate for Divine now.
So I am informed.
Is that something you actually want?
Why should what I want matter?
Why shouldn't it matter? Don't you have the right to be happy?
It is very simple. The Chantry needs to survive. To do that, it must change. I have never believed in asking another to do what you are unwilling to do yourself. So I look upon this as an opportunity. I owe it to myself and all of Thedas to seek the Sunburst throne.
I think you'd make an excellent choice.
Thank you. Let's hope the Chantry clerics agree.
Do you have any advice for me?
It seems that Corypheus searches for elven artifacts. That's hardly surprising. Tevinter power is based on what those vultures scavenged from the ancient elves. Whatever advantage he hopes to gain, we need to stop him at once.
That's enough for now.
Another time, then.
Never mind the story quest for now. I don't know if we'll get to it tonight because there's so much more for us to do back at camp. Remember, we gotta debrief everyone.
Have you heard of the new procedures coming out of Orlais? A hole drilled into the skull will cure most ailments. Imagine not to be dependent on magic.
As gruesome as that sounds, that was actually a cure. It helps to relieve brain swelling. So long as you don't poke the brain itself.
What? I don't know. I just bought the message. We'll take this one back. No. No. Possibly in a month. No. Yes, Sarah. Of course. Wait. I suppose... Ugh, I can't believe this. Yes, I can deliver. Oh, good. Oh, my maker. You cannot imagine how many letters I've received about the fracas at Halam Shiral. Fortunately, you tied twice as many threads as cut, although it is yet bewildering at the center.
There are problems coming out of Halam Shiral?
There are always problems from Halam Shiral. We've lost a few contracts, but more than made up for it. Although, if a few commendations were given, it might retie some severed threads. I couldn't suggest how. That is better decided at your war table, and I'm not going near that thing.
How is it going? Do we have what we need?
With Skyhold shining like a beacon? You name it, it's here or on the way. I've wrung out the slackers, given them what for. I think I like this job.
As you were.
We are here for you, Inquisitor.
You gotta slow your roll, buddy.
Of course. Another time.
Alright. Let's go explore a little bit.
Hey, you.
What's been going on?
That strange boy came in with an armful of chickens. You're looking after him, right?
Yes, I am.
Take care.
I can't wait to see what kind of new writing is in store for Harding. Will they turn her into someone that's more charismatic? Someone that's more heroic? We'll have to find out.
Your worship?
Can you think of any other tasks suitable for the Chargers?
A few Orlesian nobles didn't like how things ended at the Winter Palace. They're not rebelling outright, but they've brought in mercenary companies in preparation. The Charters have a good reputation. If we go in, we can buy the companies out from underneath them. The nobles will lose the men they meant for causing trouble, and the Inquisition gets some fresh blood.
We'll talk later.
Thanks, Krem. Krem, I do like to see that she isn't just left hanging out in the tavern.
You know I've got no problem with Orlesians, but Halam Sharal was a mess. At least under the Qun, you don't get everyone tripping on each other's dicks while the country goes to crap.
The politicking we saw at Halam Sharal might seem pointless, but it's the beating heart of the Empire. The winner of the game is the one who best builds alliances, and controls what's discussed and what's decided.
So it rewards manipulation, instead of rewarding the ability to get stuff done. I don't know. The Qun isn't perfect, but it doesn't care what any single person wants. Orlais is full of people who care about nothing else. Hey, you need me?
See you later, Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss.
The Bull's more at peace with getting stuff done.
Yes. She sent me another little present. You have a root?
Alright. Let's skip over this notice. There's something about Varric and Bianca. No, never mind. It's the archery contest.
We're close enough. Inquisitor.
What's the current mood?
Sprightly.
What's the word out there?
They're pouring in from the Dales. That's good, I think.
As you were.
Inquisitor.
Yes, as we were. Let's move on. What else is around here? What's this dude doing in the corner? Also, I don't think we've rescued Sutherland yet. That's why Rad is still over there. Hey, what happened to Sarah?
One for the Empress, for Gaspar, Brianna, the Duchess, and Christopher. Right in the dangle bag.
Well, remind me to stay on your good side.
Don't worry, you're sparkling compared to that lot. A cook here, a footman there. What's it matter, right, so long as there's a book for the throne? A pretty one, sure. But how many lives are worth one Empress's arse? Ugh, that place. Should have just thrown in some bees and slammed the doors.
I don't know. You want to stop a party, I think you go earwigs.
I hate those things, with their little pinchy butts. Josephine should add that to her paper threats. You know the real lesson from all this? Never sleep with an Empress. We patched their spat, Briala and the Celine, but without their breakup, none of it would have happened like that.
That was a mistake on their part. It made everything worse.
Wrong way around, Inquisitor. It started worse. Lots of people died before there was a hole in the sky. That's who you're saving. If you get a chance, maybe remind them not to be idiots.
Sarah. Always so simple-minded.
Love seeing you, yeah?
Are things playing out the way you expected?
About time we turned around on this Cariffy whatever. Make him feel like he's on the wrong end of the dogs for once, yeah?
I'll be back if I need you.
Go on.
You know, it's kind of hard for us to feel like we've made a difference with Corypheus because Well, for one thing, we haven't really encountered him. Instead, all we've done is just block access to, I don't know, his goals. However nebulous they may seem.
I didn't understand the Grand Ball. It would have been easier if they said what they wanted.
That would have made everything much simpler.
The colors were pretty, though.
May I ask how things are now that you're more human?
It hurts. Everything hurts. Everyone remembers me now. I can only make them miss me for a few heartbeats. But I'm real. More real, anyway. And I understand more than I did.
Wait a minute.
I'll talk to you later.
If you like.
Let me reload that. I didn't get to see that one dialogue option.
She's still behind the curtains in the reading room, watching the blood pool on the floor.
Oh, there you go. There, it's still here.
How would you like to get out of here? Maybe do something fun.
I don't know. I've never tried.
Come on.
There we go.
Inquisitor, you honor us with your presence. May I bring a sampling of fine cheeses for you and your guests?
I don't eat.
Well then, just a bottle of a fine Ghislaine White to start. Please enjoy your meal this evening, your worship.
He saw me. They all see me.
I'm glad you've allowed them to.
I don't know if I did. I find people when their pain leaves them open. I ease the pain. I leave, they forget. That was enough for me. Now they remember, and I'm not sure...
Cole?
I told you about Reese, the mage who could see me, my friend. My only friend for a long time. Evangeline showed me that Templars could be kind, but even she...
Cole, if this is troubling, we don't have to talk about it.
Gentle. You watch me walk into darkness over and over, and you always worry. Thank you. But this isn't about them. It's about... When I found out I wasn't human, when I grew, I lost Reese. I lost my only friend. That's why I was scared about letting all these people see me. That's why I laughed.
You're laughing at yourself?
Yes. This world taught me that changing means losing your friends. But now I know that doesn't have to be true. I have enough self to know that what I felt was foolish. Isn't it wonderful?
It's another good step, Cole.
I might like being human. What do you think I'll learn next?
He's becoming a real boy. Only except, you know, without the whole nose growing thing.
he hunts the killer, but he's the one who killed her. He can't remember.
May I ask how things are now that you're more human?
It hurts. Everything hurts. Everyone remembers me now. I can only make them miss me for a few heartbeats. But I'm real. More real, anyway. And I understand more than I did.
It becomes available if you encourage them to become more human, instead of becoming more of a spirit.
Why can't you make people forget you anymore?
Because I'm real. The forgetting was for both sides. They weren't frightened by me, and I wasn't hurt by them. Making people forget was a defense against people attacking me, and having what they saw in me stick. Because I'm real, everything sticks. Whatever people think or feel about me stays.
Can you still help people if you can't make them forget?
It's harder. I can't start over if I do it wrong. But seeing me changes them. They know a person wants them to hurt less. That helps.
Yeah, in our playthrough, we encouraged him to accept his feelings over binding himself with Solus.
You're still able to sense the feelings of others, aren't you?
Yes, I still feel things, flashes of their minds. Pain, hurt, all of it. It's not so loud anymore. I make more noise myself, so I don't hear as much unless I want to. I remember more things, though. It lets me learn. I sometimes see why something I said would bother Cullen. Maybe I'll do it less.
What's the difference between you and a spirit now?
Spirits are... they just are. Most of them sense something that interests them and stick to it. They don't remember much. It keeps them pure, but it also keeps them from learning, from growing. I wanted to help people, but I only knew enough to do it in the simplest way. Now I can see more. I also want to hit people a lot. Varric is helping with that.
Are you still physically the same? Or are you fully human?
I was always fully human. I can do everything I could do before, except make people forget. The way I move comes from my mind, not my body. As long as I remember some of the Fade, it remains. My body is just like the real Cole's, except that he was a mage. I'm not.
Why aren't you a mage?
I can't know for sure, but the real Cole, his father beat him, killed his mother. His sister might have died, too. I don't know if that was real or what the demon made me think. Then the Templars threw Cole in darkness and starved him, all because he had magic. He thought that if he didn't have magic, I'm what he wanted to be. Him, but normal. So no one would hurt him.
I'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
Cole's background is rather sad if you dig into it.
He sounds new. Echoes of laughter on an empty riverbed. Not for sailing, but safer.
I'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.
He's not exactly a person as we think he is. But it isn't the first time we've had a spirit for a companion. If you go back to Dragon Age Origins Awakening, we already had one there. And then Anders in Dragon Age 2 was also another.
You served with...
Yes.
Of course.
Though I guess Anders was still a regular person.
I'd be perfectly happy never again setting foot in the Winter Palace. It wasn't the gossip and backstabbing, I know what the game entails, but the indifference to it all.
I didn't care for it myself.
I shouldn't be surprised. The Chantry can be the same. Their politics are less extravagant, but just as heated. The Empress rules a country. The Divine influences half a continent.
Is there anything I should know?
Only that I'm never playing cards again. I still can't find my... It doesn't matter. I don't know how Varric talked me into that.
Oh man, he still remembers that card game.
Is there anything I should know?
My senior officers report that the soldiers are in good spirits. Having the Imperial Army as an ally has bolstered their confidence. The Orlesian military is highly regarded. Of course, I'd wager our own recruits are equal to any Chevalier.
That's all for now.
Another time, then.
You are a quick study, Knight Enchanter.
Okay. Now that we're done with those allies, let's move down here.
Want a drink? I've a hankering for company. When I was a boy, there were these urchins who roamed the streets near my father's house. One day, they found a dog. A wretched little thing. It came to them for food. I caught it, tied a rope around its neck, and strung it up. Do you know what I did?
You stopped them? Cut the dog down?
I did nothing. Not a damn thing. It was crying. I saw the kicking legs, the neck straining and twisting, and I turned around. Went inside and closed the door. I could have told my father or alerted someone. I didn't. I just pretended it wasn't happening.
You said you were just a boy.
I was old enough to know the dog was suffering and that it was wrong. I may as well have tied the noose myself. We could make the world better. It's just easier to shut our eyes.
Nothing worth doing is easy.
Look at you. You would have done the right thing. We're lucky there are people like you in the world. There's always some dog out there. Some fucking mongrel that doesn't know how to stay away.
Well, that was a rather dark chat.
Inquisitor?
What's the current mood?
Ennui.
Boredom, essentially.
What's the word out there?
The servants of the Empress sent us a crystal glass full of rose petals cradling a single golden pair. I mean, I assume.
Oh, come on, bro. You stole it and kept it for yourself?
Inquisitor?
We could have shared some of that. Dude doesn't know how to share.
I need to have a few words with my publisher. The first one will be you, and the second one will be Bastard. They've claimed for years my crime serials don't sell in Orlais. So why is the Council of Heralds asking me for autographs? Sorry, distracted. Anyway, you need something?
I've read your Tale of the Champion, and I have a few questions.
That's a pretty common reaction. Go ahead.
Carry on.
I can spare some time. What do you need?
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.
Well, so long, Varric. I was hoping you would have something for us. In that book.
There are spirits hovering by the veil to observe the thrones of powerful nations, the machinations, betrayals. After our time in Halam Shiral, I understand why. I had forgotten how I missed court intrigue.
I'm pleased you had a good time.
Political gambits, broken promises, half-truths. It is a palace full of motivation, and motivation is where great things happen. In any event, Celine should now be a steadfast ally, and Brialla as well, thanks to your efforts on her behalf. My heart.
I need to know more about Corypheus.
He has lost his army, and he has lost Orlais. That eliminates military or political means to rebuild Tevinter. He will need to demonstrate that no one in this world can stand against his magic. It will not be subtle.
We'll talk later.
Dareth Shiral.
Few things are ever subtle in this world.
Marvelous business, the Winter Palace. Saving the day, reconciling lovers, mediating a civil war. So sugary, it's nauseating. All this dancing, politics, and murder. Makes me a bit homesick.
That's something you'd like to do more often, then?
What, as you twist an entire empire around your little finger? Yes, please. Of course, that leaves only Tevinter. And it wouldn't work as well there.
No? Why not?
Our dances are so much more intense. If an evening lacks a murder, we sniff and call it a ball. I hope you tried the ham they were serving, by the way. Tasted of despair. It's fascinating.
I should go.
Try not to die. I would notice you were gone.
Die before him? Never.
Greetings again, Inquisitor.
I trust everything is well with the mages?
Most are pleased with the Alliance, even if we wonder what will happen next.
I'll leave you to it.
A request has been made of you, Inquisitor. Here it is.
What is your evaluation of how we're doing?
I am able to pursue my duties with optimal efficiency, thanks to Skyhold's present state.
As you were?
Yes, Inquisitor.
Now what? Vivian or Leliana? Oh, by the way, we have a new entry over here. Remember how I was saying the different murals on the background of these walls changes as we move through the story? Well, this is the newest one. It's kind of hard to see, though. I guess it's depicting the Empress, the Assassin. Though I don't really understand what's going on here at the bottom. It's kind of hard to tell. Let's go find Leliana first, and then we'll head over to Vivian. Now, where are you?
So it's true. Some look to Cassandra or even me as Justinia's successor. I never thought the idea would gain momentum. Of course, with the other candidates out of the picture...
Is becoming divine something you really want?
When Justinia was alive, I would have laughed at anyone who even suggested that I could be her successor. things have changed. Still, I don't know. Restoring the Chantry will be like trying to steer a sinking vessel through a storm.
Whoever becomes Divine will have my support if she requires it.
And I'm sure whoever becomes Divine will absolutely require the Inquisition's backing. The Chantry is faltering, but it still has influence over the people. Who tells the people what's right? Who do they look to in times of peril? A Divine with enough support can change the Chantry. And with it, Thedas. But this is a discussion for later. If Corypheus wins, finding a new Divine will be the least of our problems.
I wonder if this is because we've already made our choice.
A message from Divine Justinia.
That's a shock. You alright reading it?
Thank you for the concern, Inquisitor. But I am. This message was written months, perhaps even years ago, to be delivered to me if she died. I've heard of such contingency plans. A sudden death often leaves loose ends. I'm to go to Valence, a small village on the waking sea. There is something hidden there.
You know what you're looking for?
The Divine was a powerful woman who used her position to obtain all sorts of things. Whatever she hid in Valence would very likely benefit the Inquisition and must be kept from falling into the wrong hands. If I'm lucky, she will have instructions for me.
You take your instructions from me. What sort of help can a dead Divine give you?
I don't know. Perhaps something to do with the Chantry. Or it could be personal. She guided me for many years, Inquisitor, as a Divine and as a friend. There are days when I still look to her for advice, only to remember that I am alone.
Why hide things in Valence? What's so special about it?
Justinia was revered mother at the Chantry there for many years before she became the Divine. It is a place that holds great meaning for her.
I'll help in whatever way I can.
Wonderful. I was hoping you would agree to come with me to Valence. One more thing. If what is hidden in Valence is as valuable as I think, we're not going to be the only ones looking for it. I shall meet you at the Chantry in Valence. Try not to delay.
Or, you know, we could just go together.
I'm listening.
You seem to know a great many people.
I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable.
What do you know of Morrigan?
She's changed. She used to be so disagreeable, cruel. She said things just to hurt people. Now the sharp edges have worn away. Perhaps it was Kieran. He seems so normal, like any other little boy, and so polite. Not that I was expecting anything else. I mean, never mind.
We can continue this conversation later.
You know where I am. At your service, my lady.
Anything I should know?
Celine has cemented power in Orlais. Good, we need an ally like her. At the moment, she's said to be rooting out the last of Gaspard's supporters. Once that is done, we will have a united Orlais behind the Inquisition.
I'll leave you to your work.
Alright, now we can go find what's her name. You'd have to be a pure madman to encourage her to become the next pope.
My dear, I'm afraid I must ask you for help. There is an alchemical formula that I must complete, but I have been unable to obtain a critical ingredient. The heart of a snowy wyvern. I had arranged to obtain one, but the chevaliers working with me were killed in the Civil War.
If I'm going to hunt down a snowy wyvern, I need you to tell me everything you know about it.
They're quite rare and exceedingly dangerous. Their venom is the most potent of any wyvern. Ordinary hunters would not make the attempt. The risk is too great. You, my dear, would certainly be an equal to this monster.
I didn't know you were an alchemist, Vivian. What exactly is this project you're working on?
It is a special request from a member of the Council of Heralds. I am still the Imperial Court Enchanter, after all. The matter is private. That is all there is to say.
You want me to risk my life to get this thing for you, but won't tell me what it's for?
My dear, it is hardly proper for me to blab the secrets of those who put trust in my discretion. I would do no less for you, after all.
I'm not a hunter. Why do you think I can help?
This beast is not hunted for sport, as other wyverns sometimes are. It is far more deadly. In the past, chevaliers have been dispatched to either kill the creatures or drive them away from villages. Since my chevaliers have fallen to political conflict, I find myself in need of someone with a martial aptitude.
Yeah, let's help her.
I'll do what I can.
Thank you, my dear. I would be most grateful. I shall give the location of its lair to Cullen. Remember, my dear, I must have its heart or the potion will not work. I eagerly await your success.
As we've helped everyone out, too, Vivian gets a turn.
I always have time for you, my dear.
What are your thoughts about the others in the Inquisition?
Whether Cole is a spirit or a demon is irrelevant. Neither can be trusted, my dear. Remember that.
Alrighty. Believe that's everyone. Except for... Who am I forgetting? Oh, wait. Josephine. And also Dagna as well.
Something strange for you, Inquisitor. You're used to that by now, right?
I'll see you later, Dagna.
I can't wait.
Good to see you.
I'll be back later.
I'll be here.
Alright, I think we have Josephine left to handle. We've already spoken to these three. Vivian, Varric, Solus, Dorian, Liliana, Cullen, Cole. Oh, Morrigan is now an option as well. Is it new stuff? I think there might have been a new video out today. Didn't really have a chance to check on it myself. Maybe sometime later.
How bracing to be in the thick of the game again. The last time I was at Alam Shiral was Countess Letienne's wedding. There were a dozen affairs, 5 secret alliances, and a duel between 2 chevaliers over the vintage of an Antivan port. But until the Duchess was unmasked, I've never seen the Winter Palace in shock.
No one can say the evening wasn't memorable.
They've already begun composing songs about it in Val Royale, no doubt. The game's become increasingly insular in the past few years. Corypheus skillfully took advantage. It's disturbing so few people in the Orlesian court were aware of the Duchess's machinations.
The Empress realized she was in danger.
She's always in danger. Those loyal to her should have practiced more vigilance. But let's not lose sight of victory. Your actions at the ball have secured us allies and favors alike.
Playing the game was thrilling. We did just make history.
Indeed. Tales of this affair have begun circulating in Val Royeaux. Although I do wish Varric would show a bit more restraint in his accounts of the evening. I was hoping you'd be by. We've received letters from Archon Redanus of Tevinter and King Marcus of Nevada. For both monarchs to come to us is nearly unheard of.
Then the Inquisition's deeds have won their respect.
They'd never have contacted us otherwise. Archon Redanus requests that the Inquisition, as a neutral party, destroy a Venatori cult on the Nevaran-Tevinter border. King Marcus asks the same, but demands we pledge allegiance to Nevara instead of Tevinter.
What course of action would you take if you were in my place?
Strained as their relationship with Orlais is, I would assist the Imperium. Their friendship is difficult to win, and Marcus is a fading power. Tevinter is the longer, richer game.
What sort of man is the King of Navarra?
At this point, elderly. Many fear his health will soon fail him. Still, he is a Pentagast. Their dynasty is exceptionally strong in Navarra.
As a Pentagast, will Cassandra be upset if we don't help her relatives?
With all respect to Sikar Pentagast, her interest in politics is best described as thin.
Why is the ruler of Tevinter turning on the Venatori?
He has little reason to love them. Archon Redanus has rightly identified Corypheus as competition. Few monarchs relish a self-styled god showing up to claim their throne.
Tell me about Redanus.
Like most Tevinter rulers, he's heir to an ancient bloodline, politically shrewd, and a highly skilled mage. Rumor also claims he has an incredibly soft spot for cats.
Who do you want to help? Tevinter or Navarra? Wonder if there's any benefit to doing either one. Oh, wait, hang on. I mean, on the one hand, Cassandra is related to the person in Navarra. On the other hand, Tevinter is always kind of like this far-off location that no one really likes. But they put up with it simply because they're there. Let's help Cassandra's people.
Inform King Marcus the Inquisition will wipe the Venatori from his borders.
Very well. It will be done.
I think that's a better option. Yeah, they've kind of turned the gameplay of the next Dragon Age into something that's more action-based. Whether or not that's better still remains to be seen. I'm not too picky, though. I would rather focus more on the writing. The combat's never been like a main gameplay focus for me with this game series. Mostly because it's always changed from game to game.
Working nursery, with not a space wasted. A want for nothing.
Like the combat system from the first game to the second game to this game, they look similar in maybe the most basic of things. Like, sure, you can still attack people and throw out magic and abilities, but how you do so and how you choose your character upgrades is something that's entirely different from entry to entry.
Good, Inquisitor. I am glad that issue has been resolved.
What is your evaluation of our supplies?
We are groaning with resources, a reflection of your competence and inspiration.
As you were.
Of course, Inquisitor.
And besides, to expect the same gameplay from a game that's been released like 10 years ago without any entry in between is kind of a stretch to ask. Most of the people that were working at BioWare and who designed all the systems have probably all since left.
Herald of Andraste.
Can you tell me how our people are doing?
What would you like to know?
How are our forces at Skyhole doing?
We have many injured. The siege of Adamant was brutal for all involved. Even so, more flock to your banner. They have heard that the Inquisition defeated the legendary Grey Wardens. Your soldiers have been blooded, Inquisitor. They are veterans now, an army in more than just name.
Farewell.
Make her go with you. Herald of
I wonder if she says anything new about people in other places.
What would you like to know?
I mean, we've already explored everywhere else there is available.
Do you have information on people elsewhere?
You have done much for the refugees in the hinterlands. Many who would have starved or frozen owe you their lives. With the rift near Crestwood sealed, the villagers have begun rebuilding their homes and lives. The people in the hills of Emprise du Lion are safe again, thanks to you. They may even plant crops this season. More than that I cannot say. It is a chaotic time for all in Olay and Ferelden.
Farewell.
Farewell.
But yeah, I'm looking far more to the writing and seeing how consistent it is when compared to this game and the games before it.
You're the Inquisitor. Mother never told me the Inquisitor was an elf.
That's not such a terrible thing, is it?
No, I just don't know why your people want to look like that.
Kieran, are you bothering the Inquisitor?
Of course not. Did you see what's on her hand, Mother?
I did see. 'Tis time to return to your studies, little man. My son. Never where you expect him to be, naturally.
I didn't know you had a son.
Why would you? I take great pains to not let my own reputation affect him in any way. To most in the Imperial Court, he's simply a quiet and well-spoken lad. Perhaps the heir of some distant family. But he goes where I go. Worry not, Inquisitor. Kieran is a curious boy, but seldom troublesome.
Will his father be joining us as well?
'Twould be most unlikely. His father helped raise Kieran for a time, but events have conspired to take him elsewhere. So 'tis but the two of us, Inquisitor. Your fortress is a large place, and you will scarce notice our presence.
He seems like a fine young man.
But not the sort one might expect a woman like me to raise. No son of mine would be raised in a marsh, bereft of contact with the outside world. His future will be difficult enough without my adding to his burden. To think, until recently this place stood decrepit, occupied only by the desperate and the lost. Now it is party to events that threaten to shake the world. I wonder if it is pleased.
It sounds like you've heard of Skyhold before.
This fortress was built upon the remains of a site holy to the ancient elves. They called it Tara Salan, the place where the sky is kept. It is said that from here, they reached up to the heavens to bring them down to rest. They abandoned it, as did the humans who came after them. Bones laid upon bones, silent until your arrival.
I like this place. I've made it mine.
The magic in this place has seeped into the stones, protecting it from darkness. Those who let it fall to ruin did not know what they possessed. You, I think, shall do it justice. I know you did not want me here, Inquisitor. I will do my best to aid your cause with all the knowledge at my disposal. This I swear to you.
I appreciate whatever help you can give us.
Some might think Corypheus a madman for seeking godhood. Yet one must ask, what were the old gods? What secrets of theirs did the ancient magisters know? What I fear, what all should fear, is not that Corypheus believes he can succeed. 'Tis that he actually may.
Where did Kieran go? In case you don't understand who these two are, it's probably best to go back to the first game and brush up on a little bit of the in-game history. Morgan used to be a playable character in the first game alongside Leliana.
Leliana gave me the note that the hero of Ferelden included for me. She may even have left it sealed. A pity. You would have learned things that could make even an Orlesian blush. Now, was there anything else?
I'd like to know more about you.
Ah, yes. Whence comes the mystery woman slinking her way into the Inquisition's ranks? Once I was an apostate, living well away from the banal influence of the Chantry in the Kukari Wilds. Then came the Fifth Blight with its darkspawn, and I left Ferelden for the Empress's court. 'Tis certain the nobles of Orlais breathe a collective sigh of relief that I am now here.
Yes, she was part of the first game.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight?
The Blight began in the Kukari Wilds, so yes, I experienced it firsthand. Indeed, I fought at the hero of Ferelden's side for a time. He is the reason the Blight was defeated. We became close. Closer than I even thought possible. When I left, he pursued me. And after that, I came to Orlais. The last place one would look for me, or such was my hope.
Also, whenever they say the hero of Ferelden, they mean you. The main character of the first game.
The Orlesian court seems like an odd place to find someone like you.
That was the point, originally. I knew the Empress was intrigued by the arcane, and that I could answer questions no Chantry mage could. Thus, we fit together nicely. I became her advisor, and she my benefactor and source of refuge. Truth be told, our arrangement would not have lasted much longer. Too many wagging tongues, even for Celine.
It's odd that an apostate could live so openly.
It confuses those who expect apostates to cower and hide. I stand boldly before them and demand to know why I need some Chantry mage to teach me to control my power. They would put me on a leash so they can feel safer at night. I am uninterested in their comfort. Naturally, it helps to have friends in high places.
Tell me more about your son.
He is a very special young man.
Special in what way?
In every way. At first, Kieran was a means to an end. But as he grew, I never thought of myself as a mother, Inquisitor. I had no good example to follow. I find myself becoming something I can barely recognize.
I'll leave you to the garden.
Of course. I was pleased to learn you saved the Grey Wardens from their own self-destructive foolishness. For all their eagerness to shed blood for their cause, we will still need them should another blight arise. It's fortunate my warden was not there, or he would surely have been in the middle of it.
Your warden?
You might know him as the Hero of Ferelden. A lofty title, though he wears it well.
I didn't see you as the type to settle down, Morrigan.
It is not so domestic as you picture, but even so, it has far outstripped my expectations. My love is on a quest to combat the calling, the actual calling that signals the end of a warden's life. If he is successful, it will mean a long life for him, perhaps for them all. Once Corypheus has been defeated, I fully intend to join my love once more. Kieran misses him greatly.
Oh, speaking of that, in my playthrough, I romanced Morrigan, and so those two are together, the main character and her. You can also romance Leliana as well. In that case, Leliana and your main character will be together, and there'll be dialogue to reference that. Or you could probably romance some other characters as well. Alistair is another one. He doesn't really show up in our playthrough because we sent him on his way to become king. There are other endings from him as well, but we only got to see him in like one short snippet, and his presence never came back up again. The other main characters of the first game don't reappear for some odd reason or another.
It seems odd he went on an adventure and you stayed behind.
We are neither of us so weak we would die of loneliness. Where he went, Kieran could not follow, and thus I remained behind to look after our son. We will be together again soon enough, and I am glad of it.
Still kind of wish we could have seen our main character.
How can the calling be stopped? Is that actually possible?
Grand Enchanter Fiona was once a Grey Warden, but something removed the blight from her blood. Similarly, a warden mage named Avernus performed experiments that prolonged his life to unnatural lengths. So, we know it is possible. Indeed, 'twas I who found the lead my love now follows in the Western lands. Success is not guaranteed, of course, but he has never lacked for determination.
Also, based on my own research of this topic, it's very unlikely we'll ever get to see that character in any future game or other, I don't know, media. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong.
Are the two of you happy together?
The three of us, and it is little business of yours. But yes, I never thought to find someone in this world I could trust as an equal. He has been a good partner, and a good father. And now I pray we discuss something else, lest these honeyed words make me vomit.
Is there any way the hero of Ferelden could help us against Corypheus?
'Tis unlikely. Corypheus uses the blight, but he is not controlled by it like a true Darkspawn. Still, my love has ever been resourceful. I can give the Inquisition a means to send him a message. He will think this means I miss him, of course. Oh, he will be insufferably pleased with himself. I hope you appreciate this sacrifice, Inquisitor.
Why, yes, thank you.
I imagine your forces will be heading into the Arbor Wilds very soon, Inquisitor. Trust me when I say that wherever the Illuvian is hidden, it is worth any effort to prevent Corypheus from acquiring it.
Now that you've seen the Inquisition up close, what are your impressions?
'Tis remarkable what you have built. I will give you that. Leliana has built a network of spies beyond anything Thedas has seen. All this in precious little time, conjured from thin air through the power of fervor alone. I wonder if Corypheus suspected what he was enabling, just as I wonder what will become of all this once he is defeated.
We have to defeat him first. Then I'll worry about what's next.
Should that happen, the world will lie at your feet, more or less. Beware the heights you reach, Inquisitor. When this is done, many will be eager to knock you back down.
What work have you been doing to help us?
Currently, my efforts are focused on determining what Corypheus is, and from where his power comes. The elven orb he carries is what draws my attention. I wonder if the power he used to tear open the Fade, in fact, came from the orb. Perhaps it is even the source of your anchor. If I learn of its origin, I may also learn what Corypheus now intends, as well as his weaknesses.
I could use your company for my excursions outside Skyhold.
I have spent my share of time wandering the wilderness in the company of others, Inquisitor. Thank you for the invitation, but for now I will restrict my efforts to researching the arcane.
Well, if you were wondering if Morrigan will join us, no, she's not a playable character. She's just an advisor.
Do you know anything about his dragon?
It has the appearance of an archdemon. Of that, I am certain. A true archdemon, however, is supposedly the corrupted form of an old god. Has Corypheus actually dug up one of the ancient prisons? If so, why has a new blight not begun? His dragon is something else, something connected to his blighted nature as well as his magic. Beyond that, I cannot say.
Is it even possible that Corypheus could succeed?
The Black City exists. Wherever one goes in the Fade, it is visible in the sky. The last time Corypheus and his cohorts stormed its doors, they unleashed the Blight upon the world. This time, perhaps he might indeed gain untold power, becoming something unto a god. It is also possible he could unleash something far worse than the Blights. So yes, Corypheus could succeed in his goal. If not, his attempt alone could destroy the world.
Corypheus says I'm a rival. Does that mean...
Could you become a god? That depends. Are you prepared to use your anchor to enter the Black City?
Would we go into the seat of heaven and claim the power?
I wouldn't know how, if that's even possible.
Perhaps Corypheus fears the moment when you learn.
However you can help, it's appreciated.
Continue prodding at Corypheus, Inquisitor. Elicit a reaction, and we may yet learn from it.
What work have you been doing to help us?
Currently, my efforts are focused on determining what Corypheus is, and from where his power comes. The elven orb he carries is what...
Oh, wait, we've already heard this.
I wonder if the power he used to tear open the Fade, in fact, came from the orb. Perhaps it is even the source of your anchor. If I learn of its origin, I may also learn what Corypheus now intends, as well as his weaknesses.
However you can help, it's appreciated.
Continue prodding at Corypheus, Inquisitor. Elicit a reaction, and we may yet learn from it.
I'd like to know more about you.
If you have questions, then ask.
I'll leave you to the garden.
As you like.
Okay. I think Morgan's dialogue ends here.
Greetings, Inquisitor.
I'll leave you to the garden.
As you like.
Okay then. Let's make a save, and we're gonna go do some judging. I don't see where our kid is. Oh. Over here is something neat. Looks like a big old mirror, right? We will learn more about it later.
Inquisitor.
Well, if we have nothing else to do... I don't even see where her son is. Well, he's probably hiding somewhere.
It's good to know we're doing something worthwhile.
Let us go do some judging, then we'll do some more side questing, and then we'll finally start the next story mission.
I do not believe a reminder is necessary for this accused. Her capture and disgrace could not have been more public. Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon, although her titles are among the dignities already at risk of forfeiture. You spared her life despite her treachery. What becomes of it now falls to you.
Empress Celine left her fate to me? Interesting.
Despite her posture, Lady Floriane has acknowledged your authority.
Should I curse you on behalf of the Elder One? I realized he had no intention of honoring the concordats I manipulated. Do as you must. I respect your mastery of the game, even as I despise your victory. Celine does not know her fortune.
We have a number of things to do with her. Well, for one, I think this one is... Oh, never mind. It's just farm work. Instead of having her do anything important, we're just going to use her for slave labor. Sarah, Cole, and Blackwall will like this. Vivian to a lesser extent, as well as Iron Bull. Solus, however, dislikes it. We can also use her as our court jester. She's not going to do anything here. She's just going to be our court clown. Sarah really loves this option. Vivian and Dorian slightly. Cassandra does not like this any one bit. We could also just exile her. Solus, Iron Bull, and Vivian like this. Actually, no. Never mind. They dislike this. Or if you want perhaps the best option, we can recruit her for the Inquisition. This does require the nobility knowledge perk. Solus will greatly approve. Iron Bull will approve to a lesser extent. Cassandra, Vivian, and Varric don't like it, and Sarah and Cole especially don't like it. If you're looking to have the most out of your agents, this is the way to go. Let's go with this option.
She remains a creature of formality and opportunity. We have use for both. Grand Duchess, Josephine will see that your wiles profit the Inquisition. Don't disappoint.
Oh, one must remember that the game is never truly over, Your Worship.
She'll be fine. Plus we get another war table operation. You just can't please everyone. Alright, let's go find out what's going on with Leliana. We're going to the Valance Cloister. A letter written by Divine Justinia and posthumously delivered to Leliana directed Leliana to visit Valance, a small village on the waking sea. The Divine left something in the chantry that Leliana must see. Oh wait, Blackwall is not available right now. Where did he go? We're gonna have to go track him down. In the meantime, let me see if we can work out... Yeah, I need to work out Cassandra's build, since we don't have him available.
It's just as I remember it.
You didn't tell me you'd been here before.
After the Blight ended, I came here to see Justinia. She was just Dorothea then, a revered mother.
It's peaceful here. You must have good memories of this place.
It was a place of comfort. It is good to see it still untouched by Corypheus.
Liliana, is that you?
Sister Natalie, what are you doing here? I thought you were in Val Rayo.
No, I've been here since Justinia died. This place makes me feel like she's still with us.
Inquisitor, this is Natalie, a trusted friend.
Wait, Inquisitor? You brought the Inquisitor here? My lady, forgive me for not recognizing you earlier.
I wish more people would fail to recognize me.
Oh, I see.
Natalie, listen. There is something hidden here. Something Justinia left for me.
Oh, really? What is it?
I don't know, but we'll find it. I'm curious to see what brought us all here. Justinia's letter came with instructions for me. They were a little cryptic. Always remember that faith sprung from a barren branch, that light has no fear of darkness. Above all, that strength lives in an open heart.
She must be hinting at something in here. Let's look around.
Do they still sing verses from the benedictions every Friday? That canticle was Justinia's favorite.
Yes, of course. We'd never give up the traditions of a most beloved divine.
That is lovely to hear.
What are we searching for?
It's terrifying, but beautiful in its way.
It is beautiful.
Have you seen it by sunrise?
When the sun rises through it, it splits into what looks like 1,000 suns, like a broken mirror.
Yes, spectacular, isn't it? You must be careful, Natalie. Justinia's enemies are making their move, vying for position and the Sunburst throne.
I'd like to move on, but there's still more dialogue playing out. Wait, hang on. Beck? There's one mechanism.
I was in the cloister in Lothering when the Blight began. There was a lot of fear back then. No one knew what was going to happen, whether we would live or die. And then one morning, I found a single bloom on a dead rose bush. And I thought, even in the midst of all this, life finds a way. The Maker hasn't abandoned us.
Liliana in the first game was kind of a riddle. She seemed very devout, right, when you first meet her, but turns out it's just a facade. It's a cover. And that's something that you don't realize until you progress further in the game. What is this over here?
An open heart. Well, that one's quite literal. And morbid. But Justinia always said that compassion was my greatest strength. Doubt is easy. It takes courage to trust.
So what are all these images here about? I'm assuming it has something to do with Andraste.
What was that? Looks like we opened something.
Hidden chamber should be right over here.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Liliana, stop! What are you doing?
I'm protecting us. They never sing the benedictions here on Fridays, Natalie. Something so simple. And you got it so wrong. I wanted to believe, but you were lying from the start. Keep that pretty mouth shut if you must, dear. You've already told me everything I need to know. The prickleweed burrs on your hem, talking about the sun rising through the breach. It all points to a single place. Morel in the Dales, Grand Cleric Victoire's bastion. She sent you, didn't she? Victoire was always an opportunist.
Who is this Grand Cleric? I've never heard of her.
An experienced cleric. She never agreed with Justinia, but kept her ideas to herself. I suppose now, with Justinia dead, she thought she could make her move.
I want to know what this Grand Cleric planned here.
She sent Natalie here to see what Justinia was hiding, no?
The Inquisition has turned Thidas away from the true chantry. It must be stopped.
Stop us? You must be joking.
Mother Victoire is well loved by many. The Inquisition has more enemies than you know.
And Victoire thinks she can ally with them.
I wonder if we can have her join.
We don't have to be at odds, Natalie. You could come with us. Join the Inquisition.
I was called to serve the Grand Cleric. I will not betray her. Kill me then. I am not afraid to die for my beliefs. At least I still know what I believe.
Okay, we have an option here. We can keep Liliana hardened, or we can soften her personality. If we want her as Pope and she's still hardened by the end of the game, then Liliana will keep her more ruthless personality. On the other hand, we can also soften her personality that way that if we choose her to become the Pope, she'll be more benevolent. She won't be so much of a hard ass. Well, we already don't want her as the Pope. Let me let her go and see what happens there.
Release her, Liliana. She's no threat.
The Grand Cleric?
She is one woman. We are the Inquisition.
The Inquisitor has spoken. Run. Tell your mistress that she has a choice. The Inquisition is coming. No! This can't be it. There's nothing here.
It's not what you expected. That doesn't mean it's nothing.
There's a message carved in the lid. The left hand should lay down her burden. She's releasing me. The Divine has a long reach, but it is always her left hand that stretches out. 1,000 lies,
1,000 deaths. Her commands, but my conscience that bore the consequences.
She apologized in the Fade. She said she failed you. This is what she meant.
All this time, Justinia carried the fear that she was using me. Just like I'd been used in the past. But Marjolaine's games were trifles. Justinia gambled with the fate of nations. She needed me. No one else could have done what I did. She knows that.
Then you have to let it go. Let her go. You don't owe her anything anymore.
If it were not for you, I would have killed Natalie and called it a good thing. Thank you for showing me what was right when I couldn't see it for myself. There are things that must be said, but not here. I will see you back at Skyhold.
Strangely enough, in the first game, you had a system where it was the total opposite. Instead of softening her as we do here, in the first game you actually harden her. You turn her personality from the soft, sweet person into someone that's truly like an assassin badass. Oh well. She isn't like that here. Oh wait. I gotta go figure out what happened to Blackwall. Let's head back to Skyhold real quick. Time to go find him. Maybe he's just drunk. Who knows?
The Spy Master has confirmed it. Blackwall is gone.
He would not have left unless he had a good reason.
It is not for me to speculate on Blackwall's motivations. Sister Leliana had us search the Warden's quarters. Not much to find, except this. It was missing from last week's reports. I don't know what Blackwall's interest in this particular matter is, but it could be a good place to start.
What does this mean? A crumpled sheet of paper. It looks like it was removed from a recent report to Sister Leliana. Lieutenant Cyril Mornay, one of the soldiers responsible for the Callier massacre of 937, was captured in Leeds. Like the others who were arrested for their involvement, Mornay insists that he did not know who he was assassinating, and that he was just following the orders of his captain. This Captain Tom Rainier is still at large. Mornay is to be executed within the week in Val Royeaux. Well then, let's head to Val Royeaux and see what's going on. What new developments do we have here with Blackwall? It's a strange, dark, and dreary day.
Michel Mornay for your crimes against the Empire of Orlais. For the murders of General Vincent Callier, Lady Laurette Callier, their 4 children, and their retainers. You are sentenced to be hanged from the neck until dead. Do you have anything to say in your defense? Very well.
Oh, this is grim.
Proceed.
Stop!
A Grey Warden.
This man is innocent of the crimes laid before him. Orders were given, and he followed them like any good soldier. He should not die for that mistake.
Then find me the man who gave the order.
Oh, shit.
Blackwall!
No, I am not Blackwall. I never was Blackwall. Warden Blackwall is dead, and has been for years. I assumed his name to hide like a coward from who I really am.
You, after all this time.
It's over. I'm done hiding. I gave the order. The crime is mine. I am Tom Rainier.
What a twist.
I don't have a concern about this Corypheus or what have you. The right hand will be divided.
It is said that the apples that grow near the gallows will be bitter on the tongue of a lover who will betray. It is also said, although by different people entirely, that unripened fruit should not be the only consideration when investigating matters of fidelity. The latter are lonely most evenings among the arbors of the summer bazaar.
Can you believe it? Tom Rainier himself.
You must know something about Rainier.
I know what everyone knows. He'll hang for the massacre of a noble and his family.
Where did they take the prisoner?
In the jail of the marketplace. If you've goodbyes to say them now. It's a damned mess, but believe you me, it'll be sorted out quick. Lots of people can't wait to see that man swing. Guess not.
Let's go find him. I think it's possible for us to leave him to his fate.
There is no doubt.
It's not the best option.
He wore the shield.
That is concerning, yes.
Concerning? He's a butcher.
Yeah, it's not the best option if you're looking to keep everyone alive by the end of the game.
Those who oppose thee shall know the wrath of his. Those who had been cast down, the demons who would be gods,
careful.
began to whisper to men from their tombs within the dark.
But let's learn more about who this Tom Rainier is. And why has he been hiding right underneath our nose this entire time? Well, so long as we're down here. Make sure to grab the extra loot. It's another amulet of power for Blackwall. Isn't that our second one? Well, if you're playing this game without the dupe glitch, there's another reason to use Blackwall.
I didn't take Blackwall's life. I traded his death. He wanted me for the Wardens, but there was an ambush. Darkspawn. He was killed. I took his name to stop the world from losing a good man. But a good man, the man he was, wouldn't have let another die in his place.
You saved that man. That took courage.
Courage? I killed innocent people. Destroyed Mornay's life and the lives of others like him. One moment of courage will not make up for that. Why are you here?
That depends on what you say.
Don't you understand? I gave the order to kill Lord Callier, his entourage, and I lied to my men about what they were doing. When it came to light, I ran. Those men, my men, paid for my treason, while I was pretending to be a better man. This is what I am. A murderer, a traitor, a monster.
Would a monster have given himself up? Somewhere along the line, you stopped pretending.
Yes.
So if this isn't Blackwall, who is he really?
Who were you before this mess?
I was a captain in the Orlesian army. Well regarded, respected. But it wasn't enough. One mistake. One mistake and everything I worked for fell apart.
The man on the gallows, Mornay. Who was he?
My second in command. He was a good man. When I heard he'd been caught, I was resolved to stop his execution. Couldn't let another die for my mistake.
I need to know the details of what you did, who you killed, why.
I betrayed the Empire and assassinated a general, all for gold. The man was General Vincent Callier. My employer was a Chevalier, Robert Chapuis. Sir Robert believed that Grand Duke Gaspard was the rightful ruler of Orlais and would eventually take the throne. He thought that by eliminating one of Celine's loyal supporters, he might endear himself to the true Emperor. I can't say if Robert's plan would have worked. I didn't care. There was good coin offered, and I took it. By the time Sir Robert's involvement was uncovered, I was long gone. Of course, the Grand Duke disavowed any knowledge of the act and publicly condemned it. Robert killed himself. Poison in his wine. Another victim of the great game.
You got your men to help you. What did you tell them?
They didn't know who they were attacking. I told them it was an important mission. They trusted me without question. Just as your men trust you.
Our men follow me because they believe our cause is righteous.
They believe it because that's what you tell them.
My reports say that Callier was with his family. You had them all slaughtered?
I didn't know Callier would be traveling with his family. I assumed only soldiers, armed guards. My men have been told to eliminate everyone. They'd seen war. They thought they were defending their country. No one likes to think about that. But it's names that carry power in this world. Bloodlines. Heirs. No matter how leaders like Celine or Gaspard pretend the game is played, that's how real war is waged.
That shouldn't be how wars are fought. There's no need.
War is unfair, and the sky is blue. But you're right. There was no need for what I did.
There's another thing I'm still wondering.
Yes?
I need to know about Blackwall. The real Blackwall.
We met in a tavern when I was on the run. I was nothing. A waste of life. But he wanted to recruit me. We headed to Val Chavan for the joining. But Blackwall insisted on making a stop along the way. An old ruin from one of the previous blights. He said it led to the deep roads. I was to go down alone, find a dark spawn, and fill a vial with its blood. When I returned, I found the warden ambushed by more of the creatures. He took a blow for me. He shouldn't have died. It should have been me.
Not saying I disagree. Blackwall clearly thought you were worth saving.
No one should have died for me. He would have wanted me to carry on to Val Chavan, I'm certain. But without Blackwall, there's no proof that I've been recruited. That I didn't kill him. I couldn't go to the Wardens. But I couldn't just walk away. So, Rainier died. And Blackwall lived.
That's all for now.
And there the truth is laid bare. Blackwall, the real Blackwall, died way before the events of the game. And Tom Rainier right here took on his name. This is hinted at in the game. Well, throughout the entire game.
I have Liliana's report on Tom Rainier.
Give me the overview.
Looks like our friend was once a respected captain in the Imperial Orlesian army. Before the Civil War, he was turned, persuaded to assassinate one of Celine's biggest supporters. He led a group of fiercely loyal men on this mission, and told them nothing of it. His men took the fall for him. A few lucky ones, like Mornay, managed to escape.
So in his former life, he was a coward as well. But, on the other hand, Liliana had this report all along.
Let me guess. Our spy master had this lying around somewhere, didn't she?
It would have been difficult for anyone to connect Blackwall to Rainier. Even Liliana has something of a blind spot when it comes to wardens. What do we do now? Blackwall... Rainier has accepted his fate, but you don't have to. We have resources. If he's released to us, you may pass judgment on him yourself.
Well, on the one hand, he was our friend. On the other hand... Well, I mean, he still is our friend. But on the other hand, he is a bit of a coward. He committed a crime. He ran away from it. He took on someone else's identity. But in the end, he actually came back and saved the person who was going to be killed because of him.
If it were up to you, what would happen?
What he did to the men under his command was unacceptable. He betrayed their trust, betrayed ours. I despise him for it. And yet he fought as a warden, joined the Inquisition, gave his blood for our cause. And the moment he shakes off his past, he turns around and owns up to it. Why?
Some part of you is impressed by what he did, isn't it?
Saving Mornay the way he did took courage, I'll give him that. But I can't tell you what to do.
Well then, we are in a bit of a pickle. I do like how this decision plays up to your own sense of morality. And not just simply because the game told you so. Like, you have to save him. You can leave him there to rot for all you care. You don't have to have him in your party. And he doesn't have to survive through to the end of the game. If, on the other hand, you feel like he's of better use to you alive, we can get him out. Or we can always postpone the decision. As for me, we're trying to keep all of our party members alive. Let's get him out.
Have Rainier released to us.
We must move quickly. We can explore our options back at Skyhold.
Alright. We shall go back to the operations table and figure out what to do from there. I do enjoy this bit of role-playing. And not simply role-playing as in, oh, you got your character, you can build him up. You can have him take on these abilities and have him become powerful. No, I'm talking more about the fact that you are given choices. You can decide how the story unfolds before you. And yes, that might mean choosing to leave behind a character that you used to care about a lot. And because of their history, you can decide, you know what, I don't want this person anymore with me. Oh, hey, Meriden here.
There is an issue that you should address. I think it's worth your time, Inquisitor.
Alright. I'll help Meriden with that. Also, I think I need my armor back. Blackwall still got all of it. Yeah, I'm gonna need my armor and my equipment back, Blackwall. He took all of it. Ah, man. I was gonna go ahead and... Yeah, I was gonna go ahead and pursue Vivian's thing, but we don't have that on hand. We don't have Blackwall's equipment. Alright, so back to Skyhold we go. I mean, Blackwall has proven himself to be... He's proven himself to be a moral person. He does know right from wrong. And when push came to shove, he owned up to his mistakes. I think that's commendable.
Inquisitor?
Well, anyway.
The note just a pleasure. They are happier now. Thank you.
What do the people make of us?
There's scarcely a noble house that hasn't openly pledged its support to us.
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
Marquise Hedinel is here, but Her Grace sent her apologies for missing dinner. Allergies, I'm afraid.
Allergies to what?
Wheat, eggs, honey, meat, most fish, some poultry, and even peppers, to winter fruits, and every nut under the sun.
What does the Marquise subsist on?
Spite, according to her siblings, as the Marquise had the fortune to be firstborn of her family. Try to avoid invitations to any of their luncheons.
Oh, okay, so that's how you pronounce that name. Or title. Marquise.
time to plan our next attack. What's the state of the Inquisition?
Our alliance with Orlais holds, for the present. They'll send aid on request.
And your actions at Adamant denied Corypheus his army of pet demons. With Orlay's support, our numbers match his. Corypheus's followers must be panicking.
My agents agree. Our victories have shaken his disciples.
Perhaps they'll rethink following the Darkspawn Magister from the dawn of time. Where is Corypheus now?
After you dealt with the Duchess, Corypheus uprooted his major strongholds. He's moving south to the Arbor Wilds. His army clearly wasn't prepared to flee. Our victories have them on the defensive.
They've terrorized Thedas long enough. We end them now. If Corypheus is hiding in the Arbor Wilds, that's where we'll go.
But what is Corypheus doing in such a remote area?
His people have been ransacking elven ruins since Haven. We believe he seeks more. What he hopes to find, however, continues to elude us.
Which should surprise no one. Fortunately, I can assist.
You have my attention, Lady Morrigan.
What Corypheus seeks in those Forgotten Woods is as ancient as it is dangerous.
Which is?
It is best if I show you.
What is that?
This is an Illuvian, an elven artifact from a time long before their empire was lost to human greed. I restored this one at great cost, but another lies within the Arbor Wilds. That is what Corypheus seeks.
This belonged to my people?
I found legends of an elven temple within the Arbor Wilds, untouched. It proved too dangerous to approach, and thus I turned elsewhere to find my prize. If Corypheus has turned southward, he could succeed where I failed. The Illuvian would be his.
What does it do?
A more appropriate question would be, where does it lead? If this place once had a name, it has long been lost. I call it the Crossroads, a place where all Illuvians join, wherever they might be.
A useful trick.
For one who knows the way, certainly. The ancient elves left no roads, only ruins hidden in far-flung corners. This is how they traveled between them. As you can see, most of the mirrors are dark, broken, corrupted, or unusable. As for the rest, a few can be opened from this side, but only a few.
How did you find out about this place?
My travels have led me to many strange destinations, Inquisitor. Once, they led me here. It offered sanctuary.
Sanctuary?
Not all the mirrors lead back to our world. The ancients were nothing if not resourceful.
If they don't lead back to our world, then...
Places between, like this one. I can describe it no better. For a time, I had a respite with the man I loved. For a time, I had a safe place to raise my son. But only for a time. One cannot remain in between forever.
What do you mean a few can be opened from this side?
Some of the Illuvians have been left unlocked, like doors accidentally left ajar. All others are closed. They can be opened only from beyond.
Opened how?
With a key.
I suppose you have such a key?
The key can be many things. Each Illuvian is different. I have knowledge as well as power. Often that is enough.
Corypheus wants to come here.
This is not the Fade, but it is very close. Someone with enough power could tear down the ancient barriers.
And enter the Fade in the flesh, like Corypheus wanted to do with the Anchor.
He learned of the Illuvian in the Arbor Wilds as I did. He marshals the last of his forces to reach it. You have made Corypheus desperate, Inquisitor. We must work together to stop him, and soon.
The concept of those mirrors has always been kind of contentious. They've been around since the very first game, but they were never ever usable. For plot reasons, anyway. Hell, in fact, the first game and the second game, I think they implied that the mirrors were related to demons in some way or another. And even in the first game, it was related to the Blight. But then for whatever odd reason, they switched the writing around so that these mirrors just function as doorways to that one area. Oh. I thought we were going to be able to talk to Kieran. Maybe not.
Wandering the gardens, I see.
You seem to know a great deal about elven lore.
The Dalish are not the only ones interested in the distant past, Inquisitor. Indeed, my skills allow me access to places the Dalish dare not even dream of. The ancient elves hold secrets they have not yet given up. Secrets about the foundation of Thedas itself. Thus, they are my focus. Corypheus clearly feels the same.
I'll leave you to the garden.
Until next time, then.
Man, they were weaving like plot threads even from here into the next game. Alright then. Can we get access to the war table? That's really why I was attempting to go through this room. Or do we have more discussions? Ah, crap. As you can see, there are even more war table operations that have opened up. Oh no. Well, you know what this means. We are going to spend a good solid 2 hours again completing all these. Well, Let me see how we can break out Tom Rainier. Yeah, we're not off the hook that easily. Also, there's another set of ruins that we can investigate as well. Let's see. Before we go off over here, we might go check out the Elven ruins. I don't think it's very long. So how can we get
information on your lineage from a few interested parties at the Winter Palace?
Andraste, preserve me. Feel free to use those requests as kindling.
No, I shall take them. I want to know who pines for our commander. We can use this to our advantage.
I am not bait.
Hush. Just look pretty.
I have no idea what they're discussing. Anyway, we got two options. If you think it worthwhile, we can have Tom Rainier, previously known to us as Blackwall, released from the Val Royeaux prison in which he awaits justice. Keep in mind, Inquisitor, that he is wanted in Orlais for the massacre which claimed the lives of Lord Vincent Callier, general and staunch ally of Celine and all of Callier's family. I leave this in your hands. Well, two problems, one solution. There was a traitor to our cause, a man similar in build and appearance to Rainier. We bind and gag him and have him take Rainier's place. He is condemned instead, and the world believes Rainier has paid the price. Wow. So instead of, clearing his name, we just take someone else and replace the prisoner. In exchange, we'll have Blackwall back, but Tom Rainier is dead for good. On the other hand, we can storm the prison with a small force and take Rainier into our custody. Val Royeaux's prison guards will oppose us. We should be prepared for casualties. That seems a little extreme. We can use our connections. I can request a special dispensation from the Orlesian throne, allowing Tom Rainier to be transferred to Inquisition's custody. This may anger some, but after Halam Sharal, they owe us a favor. Not bad. Or we have this over here. Liliana informs me that your contacts in the underworld could aid in having Rainier released from prison. This route would conveniently mask the Inquisition's involvement. Well then, an offer whispered in the right circles, a dozen factions vying for our favor. We'll see who desires it most. I mean, what good is having a large organization if we can't just use our connections? Yeah, let's go with this option. Unless you truly want to, throw someone else in jail. And risk having Tom Rainier lose his identity. There are some different endings that depend on having Tom Rainier be cleared of his name. On the other hand, let me see what sort of significance we can get from this one. Because, I mean, if it's worth hiding our connections and getting him out, isn't that just as good? Oh man, Tom. The things we have to do to get you out of jail. Hmm. No. Instead, let's do this. We'll just use our connections. The dispensation came, few questions asked. What passed in Halamshral is fresh in their minds. Rainier awaits your judgment. Alright then. Let's go judge him. Plus I need my armor back. Come on, dude. You had one job, and that was to, you know, not get arrested. Then you go and do this.
For judgment this day, Inquisitor, I must present Captain Tom Rainier, formerly known to us as Warden Blackwall. His crimes... well, you are aware of his crimes. It was no small expense to bring him here, but the decision of what to do with him is now yours.
I didn't think this would be easy, but it's harder than I thought.
Another thing to regret. What did you have to do to release me?
Josephine called in a few favors. There are enough people out there who owe the Inquisition.
And what happens to the reputation the Ambassador has so carefully cultivated? The world will learn how you've used your influence. They'll know the Inquisition is corrupt.
I wish there had been another way, but my options were limited.
You could have left me there. I accepted my punishment. I was ready for all this to end. Why would you stop it? What becomes of me now?
Well, we got a couple options here. We can free him. We can pardon him. He'll be free to live his life as Tom Rainier once more. And he'll also rejoin the party. We can also give Tom Rainier back to the Grey Wardens, since he originally was supposed to become a Grey Warden in the first place. We can keep him in servitude. He will still return to our group, but he is now forever just a servant, or rather yet a slave. This morality option is entirely based on your personal feelings about him. In some ways, I like this option better. It seems like a more fitting end to Tom Rainier. I mean, he just fulfills his duties like he originally was supposed to. But just because it's fitting doesn't mean it's the more interesting option. This one, however, I find is the most interesting option of all. We give him the chance to claim his life back. Or if you just want to be a dick, choose this one. I don't think our Inquisitor is that ruthless. So let's free him.
have your freedom.
It cannot be as simple as that.
It isn't. You're free to atone as the man you are, not the traitor you thought you were or the warden you pretended to be.
The man I am. I barely know him. But I have a lot to make up for. If my future is mine, then I pledge it to the Inquisition. My sword is yours. If I'd said anything less, would an arrow from the rookery have snuffed me like a candle?
Take your post, Tom Rainier.
Well, our relationship with him has certainly changed. Hopefully for the better.
If you've got questions, I'm your dwarf.
Carry on.
Oh, and hey, more war table operations. Let's go find him. And we need to have a serious talk. For one, we gave him his sword. All that stuff back. Where the hell is it? Since we no longer have his full confidence, I think I'm going to swap him out for Cassandra going forward.
Inquisitor?
How shall I refer to you? Rainier or Blackwall?
I've gotten used to Blackwall. Perhaps we could treat it as less of a name and more of a title. Almost like Inquisitor. Reminds me of what I ought to be.
Everyone needs something to aspire to.
Exactly. I'm glad you understand.
Is there anything you actually know about the Wardens? Or did you make it all up?
I made very little up. I also feared you knew enough to contradict me. Warden Blackwall told me a bit before my initiation, but it is a secretive order. Not even the most senior Wardens know all there is to know. Yes, I have none of the Warden's abilities and none of the drawbacks. Still, I would have fought through the darkest pits of the deep roads like any true Warden.
Saw you as one of their own.
Perhaps it takes an outsider to show how much of yourself you've lost. I never understood the reality of being a Warden. I only saw the ideal, I suppose.
You have a lot of respect for the Wardens.
They take all men, from the most noble to the most despicable, and make them equals. I needed to believe something like that was possible.
Why did Blackwall want to recruit you?
He never told me. I don't know what he saw that day besides some wreck starting a bar fight. That night, I taught some village militia a painful lesson about harassing the tavern girl. Didn't know I had an audience.
I can see why the Warden was impressed.
You're assuming my intentions were noble. Told the girl to keep the wine coming. She couldn't, not with those louts bothering her. Something had to be done.
We'll continue this another time.
The war in Olay has claimed too many lives. I pray that it's over for good.
What do you think of the Inquisition?
I just know that you could shake this world to its foundations if you willed it.
We should return to our duties.
As you wish. You are, after all, in charge.
Well, crisis averted. Blackwall is back in our party. And we don't have to run. We don't have to worry about him running away. Plus, we can get back that fancy armor. Well, it was nice having Blackwall in our party. But I think I'm happy to have Cassandra back in once more. Now let's go find Liliana.
Grand Cleric Victoire has offered the ambassador support for the Inquisition.
Ah, Natalie is as persuasive as ever.
I'm told that Ambassador Montillier is pleased with the restraint you showed in Valence.
She's positively beside herself. I will never hear the end of it.
Niceness before knives, Liliana. Haven't I always told you?
Will that be all, my lady?
For now.
How have you been feeling since Valence?
Good. Wonderful. Valence was something of a rebirth for me. If you hadn't been with me at Valence, I would have killed Natalie. I'd have told you that I didn't have a choice. But there is always a choice. I am more than this. I am more than what Justinia made me.
What does this mean for my Inquisition? Will you still be my spy master?
Of course. I would not give up my post. Not after everything we've built. I just know now that I shouldn't ignore my heart. Mercy is not always a weakness.
Do you resent Justinia for what she did?
How can I when there is so much between us? When she gave her life for peace? No, I believe her intentions were pure. Most intentions are.
You've exceeded her. She could never have imagined the power you now hold.
And now I will know how to use that power wisely. I have to stay true to who I really am, before a spy master left hand or barred. I almost lost myself.
I think if you haven't chosen who you wanted as your Pope, after doing this quest, you can now ask Liliana.
I'm listening.
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
I'll leave you to your work.
Unfortunately, I think we've already committed to having Cassandra as our Pope, so we can't change it now. Not like it really matters.
Here we are again.
I should go.
Here I thought we were just getting to the good part.
None of the others seem to have any opinion on Blackwall.
Hello.
Well then. I think we have one more thing we can do tonight before we start wrapping up all of those silly war table operations.
Your worship graces me with blessed eyes.
Hey, you need me?
See you later, Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss.
Nope. No one has any opinion.
I saw him just walking free. That was a decision, and it was well considered. After what he did, I knew many killed in war. Sadly, in a game of power decided by heirs, only one target matters. You're a cold prick. You know that.
Of course.
I wonder if they're gossiping about Blackwall.
A breath-caught smile from the Enchanter as the candle lights. The walls are safe. She will never be hungry again.
I'll talk to you later.
If you like.
Okay, never mind. What's on the list? We're certainly not doing that yet. Vivian, of course, Vivian. Don't worry about the deep roads. And also don't worry about the jaws of a Khan. Those are all DLC stuff. Oh, right. We're supposed to rescue Sutherland, Voth, and Shade. Alright then. Hang on. First things first. Let me go ahead and rearrange the stuff for Cassandra.
Your worship.
When I come back next time for our next session, we'll go ahead and dupe the amulets of power for Cassandra. That way she can become a full-fledged party member. And besides, isn't it more interesting to have the Pope on our side? I think so anyway. This is for Blackwall only. And do we also have anything else important? Like this thing? Nope. Right. I just like how we have to throw all of our equipment back on whenever we have the uniform on. It's not simply just a cosmetic change, it's an armor change as well. Alright. Ordinarily, I would continue to use Blackwall, especially if you're continuing to play on Nightmare mode. Blackwall is far stronger than any other tank that you currently have, or will ever have. But I think I've gotten tired of using Blackwall. His background isn't very interesting from this point moving forward. And so we'll give that honor to Cassandra now. I'm just going to strip down his equipment and give it all over here. We're going to be training Cassandra as a two-hander. She's otherwise just going to equip everything that What's-His-Face was using. Also, whose stuff is this? The Strong Freezing Battlemaster Armor. Oh wait, never mind. It's the old equipment we were using for her back when she was still part of our party. Alright then, that looks good. This thing can be trashed. We no longer need it. And her accessories. I guess it's just this stuff. Now what else? Oh, right. I need to reset her abilities. Even though we started her off with a number of abilities in the beginning of the game, she can't exactly use some of the skills going forward because we don't have her with sword and shield. Let's pop that on and pop this on. Alright, I found a pretty good build guide for her. Let me see. Where the heck is it? Here are the skills that we want for her. Alright, going down her main specialization, you want Blessed Blades, then Maker's Will, There is no darkness, and Wrath of Heaven. And also pick up Embrace the Light. Afterwards, we're going to go down the two-hander route. Actually, no, not the two-hander route yet. Pick up Grappling Chain, Crippling Blows, Combat Roll, as well as Coming Through, Coup de Grace, Horn of Valor, and that's the Spirit. This is actually a great option because this skill by itself is going to give ourselves and our teammates armor. Plus a damage bonus as well. And before I move back, let's pick up Hamstring. Now let's go over to the two-hander. Grab Block and Slash, Flow of Battle, and Pommel Strike, as well as Lightning Jab. And then towards the very late game, pick up Mighty Blow, Shield Breaker, Whirlwind, and Clear a Path. And then whatever leftover skills or skill points you have, feel free to throw it into whatever you choose. What do we want for her now? Let me try to get some more passives. We can grab the damage bonus over there, or we can go for more guard. That's a good option. Let's try to make her as tanky as possible.
Where's my other hand? Right there.
From here, let's see how well she performs. Because if she can hold her own, then maybe we might not need to do the dupe glitch yet. Otherwise, if she doesn't hold up, then we'll give her all the skill points everywhere. And then we'll let the game figure it out all by itself. I mean, it's better than us having to sort through everything and try to determine like a min-max build for her. Why bother with that when we can just, you know, throw crap at the fan and see what sticks? We have to head back up over here. It's right around where we killed the dragon. I hope Cassandra can survive just a little bit. Not having Walking Fortress is... I mean, it's not the end-all be-all. And plus, we already killed the dragon, so there's no need for having, like, this one uber tank anymore in our party. Now, where the heck is this wyvern? Blackwall has already served his purpose. He's helped us kill almost everything in the game that was anywhere near in any shape powerful. We can choose to give her the heart of a common wyvern, or we can actually find what we came here for. You know, just in case he didn't feel like hunting it. There's a snowy wyvern. And because I'm feeling generous, let's go ahead and give her the real thing. Alright, we got what we came here for. Yeah, man. I'm guessing we're gonna have to sit through another 2 more hours running through all those war table operations. We are near enough to the end of the game that if we don't finish them now, before we complete the next story mission, that they're probably going to get locked out forever. And that's not good. Now, where is she?
Sir Morris made. Of course.
If you require any assistance... What can I do for you, my dear? Is it too much to hope that you've brought me the heart of the snowy wyvern?
Why is there an option for us to lie to her? No idea. Just in case you really didn't like Vivian. That's probably the best reason I can come up with.
If you want the wyvern's heart, you'll tell me what you're using it for.
I can do better, darling. Give me the heart, and I'll show you what it's for. Will that suffice?
Yeah, you can double down. The option to lie is still here.
All right. 1 heart, as requested.
How kind of you. Please accept this as your payment. I must begin work immediately. You have been a dear friend, and I would like you to come with me.
Really? I feel like we've been a terrible friend.
This should only take a moment, Inquisitor. I'm here, my darling.
Vivienne,
Yes, darling.
it's going to be all right, my love.
My darling? Bastien?
Vivian, I'm sorry.
There's nothing here now.
Probably one of the least meaningful companion side quests here. It doesn't really explain much, and it ends right as it begins. Amazing, right? Well, let's find out what really happened back there.
Bastien is dead. I can hardly believe. It was the Wintersend Ball. My first visit to the Imperial Palace. The Circle sent a dozen of us to entertain the nobility. I was in awe of everyone and everything, and then our eyes met. Bastien spent the entire ball at my side. The Dowager tried to have him killed for slighting her, but he didn't care.
Obviously, he was smitten. But what did you think of him?
He was a dashing rogue, and any defects he might have had were made up for with rank and importance. It was a more innocent time, I suppose. And now he's gone, and I must write to his son Laurent. And his sister will make a terrible fuss if she isn't informed first. And I'll need to arrange for the Chantry services. Maker only knows how long that will take.
If I can help you, just say the word.
No, my dear. I'll handle everything. Excuse me, I have so much to do. Inquisitor, what can I do for you, darling?
I'd like to know more about you, Madame Vivienne.
Whatever would you like to know?
Why don't you tell me more about your Duke?
Bastien was the leader of the Council of Heralds. The only person who could bring that rabble into line. He could charm a bird out of its feathers, and frequently did. I remember once, he broke up a fight between Prosper de Montfort and the Dowager with a joke and a glass of wine. Oh, Bastien. I'm sorry, my dear. I don't think I can discuss this. My dear, did you need me for something?
What are your thoughts about the others in the Inquisition?
Blackwall surprised me. I never would have thought him capable of carrying off such deception. You were quite forgiving. I hope he fares better as a Rainier than a Blackwall.
Welp. I do believe that is the last of our inner circle quests. Well, there's more to come later, but there are only a few of them left. And what is there is already completed. Let me check in on Cullen, and then we could probably do some war table operations, and that'll be the end of our session. Because somehow I think we'll be busy for the next 2 hours doing all of that, like we were last time.
Inquisitor?
Is there anything I should know?
There are fewer arguments between our Templar and Mage recruits than when we started. I've seen them trading stories, building one another up for the fight to come. I pray this won't be lost when their common enemy is gone.
What do you think of the people you work with?
Who do you mean?
Are you satisfied with the Inquisition's forces?
Our soldiers handled themselves well during the siege on Adamant. They reacted quickly to changes on the battlefield. More importantly, they relied on each other. Trust in your fellow soldiers is not something that can betray.
I should let you get back to work.
Alright, let's head back and start on those war table operations. I think I could probably dedicate up to an hour tonight, finishing off a couple of those. And then whatever we don't get done, we'll save for the next session.
Your worship.
A pleasure.
What do the people make of us?
There's scarcely a noble house that hasn't openly pledged its support to us.
Any thoughts on the people here?
Who did you mean?
Oh, this changes.
What do you think of Sir Blackwall?
I never truly met Sir Blackwall, but Tom Rainier hardly sits better on the tongue. How could he have kept up this deception for so long? To what purpose? Really, Inquisitor, I'd rather not think of it.
I think she's the only one that has some changed dialogue in relation to Blackwall. I mean, there's Sarah as well, but her dialogue, I think, is random. Or isn't it? Anyway, those war table operations aren't gonna finish themselves. Right. We can also pick up another perk as well. At this stage, it's hard to figure out what to pick up. I wouldn't bother with these herbalist lines. You can already get the herbs that you need by other methods. Maybe that's it. If you're still looking to get the short list, now's as good as any time to get it. We are fast approaching the end of the game, and if you still need endgame armor and schematics, this is the only way to get them. We don't need to worry about this. Perhaps if you're not using the dupe glitch, pick up this. This one's also valuable if you want to continue using potions. Well, I guess we can open this one up. We'll keep going until we get this. And since we're not doing anything yet, let me check out the cutscene here. The Inquisition is now forced to be reckoned with. Call its allies to rally their soldiers and march with Inquisitor Lavellin's army to the Arbor Wilds, where they will face Corypheus's zealots one final time. The Inquisition must stop Corypheus before the Darkspawn Magister finds a long-lost elven artifact in the wilds that allows him to enter the Fade physically and claim its power. You should be around levels 16 to 19, though in our case we're already at level 24.
With an Illuvion, Corypheus could cross into the Fade in the flesh.
Indeed, the Inquisitor can attest that these artifacts still work if one knows how to use them.
What happens when Corypheus enters the Fade?
Why, he will gain his heart's desire and take the power of a god. Or, and this is more likely, the lunatic will unleash forces that tear the world apart.
In Redcliffe, I saw the future Corypheus built. We can't let that happen.
It was always so, was it not? The madman would bury us all.
Pardon me, but does this mean everything's lost unless we get to the Illuvion before him?
Corypheus has a head start, no matter how quickly our army moves.
We should gather our allies before we march.
Can we wait for them? We should send our spies ahead to the Arbor Wilds.
Without support from the soldiers, you'd lose half of them.
Then what should we do?
You overcome it, all three of you, together. Josephine, have our allies send scouts to meet us in the wilds. Liliana, your fastest agents, will join them. Together, we'll have enough spies to slow down Corypheus's army until Cullen's soldiers arrive.
Such confidence. But the Arbor Wilds are not so kind to visitors. Old elven magic lingers in those woods.
We'd be remiss to not take advantage of your knowledge, Lady Morgan. Please, lend us your expertise.
'Tis why I came here, although it is good to see its value recognized.
Any further instructions, Inquisitor?
The Inquisition began as a handful of soldiers. Thanks to you, we're now a force that will topple a self-proclaimed god. I could ask for no finer counsel, no better guidance.
I speak for all of us when I answer. We could ask for no finer cause.
We'll hound Corypheus in the wilds before he can find the temple or this Illuvion.
As tempting as it is to embark on this mission tonight, that's all we're going to see of it for a couple more hours. Right now we have all these things to clear from the table. And crap, do we have a lot of them. Let me get rid of the ones where we're only gathering resources. That way we're not confused. Oh wait, I forgot. You know what, I'll save all this for another time. Or maybe tomorrow. I just realized we have to go rescue what's-his-face. This guy over here. Let's go do that first. We are on the home stretch now. There's really only about 2-ish, 3-ish more main storyline quests until we're done with the game. It's not a whole lot left. Seeing as how we front-loaded all of the work by exploring all of these other regions first. Let's go find Sutherland. He should be somewhere around over here. Vivian's card has now changed. Same thing with Blackwall. That's all pretty cool. It also references the kind of character journey they've had.
My interest is that.
What is it?
This may be worthwhile.
No, it isn't. It's hardly worthwhile. Can't believe we're back here once more. We have to make our way up. Now this is probably the last time we'll see the Storm Coast. After all that fun we had earlier, trying to rescue the Bull's men. Can't say I'll miss this location. There they are. Wait a minute, they hardly even needed our help.
I knew you'd come. Rat's a good runner. We saved a caravan but lost the fight. Saw your flag and were hoping we were good for a ransom. Once they learned we were nobody, we were as good as dead. But here you are.
Of course I'm here. You are an adventuring company of the Inquisition.
You hear that? Did everyone hear that?
We heard it, you fool.
Inquisitor, we'll return to the hold, and we'll be back out in no time. Thank you.
That was extremely quick. I guess they didn't need our help after all. Either that or they're really lousy fighters. Let's investigate. They are not here. Okay, so on second thought, I think we have enough time to run through the right side of the board. The left side of the board we'll leave for our next session. I can't believe they wrote an entire book about Sutherland. Let's start with this one. 3 requests in as many weeks for inclusion in our cause. If Sutherland imagines a debt, he is well on his way to paying it. These few youths had brought in allies by the score.
You seem to enjoy yourself at the Winter Palace, Liliana. Or was that part of the game?
Perhaps it was both.
And from surprising places. We need only extend our influence in their wake. I expect our diplomats to jog, to at least make it seem like work. Alright. Here we go once more, investigating the best outcomes. With this one, the rewards are otherwise all the same. In that case, we'll extend trade immediately. Yeah, let's extend trade.
Let us begin.
That's number 1. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I guess we only have 5 on this side. Ignore the deep roads and the Frostback Basin. We can come back to those after we finish the last boss. Technically, there is a New Game Plus mode. Well, not New Game Plus, but post-game content. The post-game content is simply just the 3 DLC packs. Delen. Thanks to the efforts of your Inquisition, Clan Lavellan is safe within the city of Wycombe, and Duke Antoine's mad efforts to destroy us have ended with his death. For now, I lead both our clan and the elves of this city, while the human merchants have formed a group that deals with us fairly and honorably. The other cities of the Free Marches listen to the false stories of the nobles who fled. I fear they will retaliate, but I am loath to leave this city, as that would effectively leave the city elves to die for our actions. If you have a path that leads to safety for our people, I welcome your advice. Well, how shall we end this quest? My money's leaning on Cullen. If you choose the wrong answer here, your clan will be destroyed. And there's no coming back from that. Yeah. If you want to unlock the real reward, which is a new mount cosmetic, choose Cullen. If you choose Josephine, everyone dies. If we negotiate, the Marchers will kill the elves, then send apologies. We must fortify the city. Notice, however, this takes, like, what? 17 hours to complete? Pure insanity.
Inquisitor.
Annexing Kirkwall. The worst of the Mage Rebellion is now past. However, the mage who started it all, who destroyed the Chantry in Kirkwall and murdered the Grand Cleric Elthina and dozens of the innocent faithful, is still at large. The fanatic Anders must be brought to justice. Though he may no longer be in the city, it is still home to many of his known associates. I thus resolved to invade Kirkwall to locate Anders, but Starkhaven's annexation of this notoriously troubled city has not proceeded as planned. The city's resistance opposes me. They forget that I do this for the good of the city and for all the free marches. As a staunch ally of the Inquisition, I entreat support for this endeavor, that Kirkwall may be brought under control before more innocents are harmed. Signed, Sebastian Vale. Seabass used to be a controllable companion in Dragon Age 2. I think he was DLC too. He's not important to the overall plot of Dragon Age 2. And in fact, he's a bit of an asshole at the end of the game. But it's nice to see that our good old friend Anders is still alive and kicking. Normally, you're given a chance whether to execute him or not. I think a lot of people ended up executing him. I'm like one of the few crazy ones that let him live. Okay. Who do we want to tackle this? With Leliana, we have a chance to end this to our advantage. Aveline will back down in the face of our overwhelming force. If we bolster Sebastian with Inquisition agents as his advisors, we can keep him from doing more damage. I don't think the best option is with Leliana. With Josephine, I fear the diplomatic ramifications of having our soldiers seen as part of a conquering army. Let us tell the prince that the Inquisition has no one to spare. After the destruction of Haven, who would blame us? It's either we sit out the conflict, we encourage the conflict, and plant our own advisors and agents, or, with Cullen, the prince means to retaliate against anyone who has ever harbored Anders. Kirkwall's resistance is headed by Guard Captain Aveline. With our help, she can break Sebastian's resolve and send him running back to Starkhaven. Too bad though, Cullen is kind of busy. Is this worth it? I think it is. Let's end Cullen. I'm just going to go ahead and flip through the time system here. There we go. Commander Cullen. Our troops fortified the city of Wycombe and flew the Inquisition banner. It is good that we did so, as the Marchers had soldiers ready to invade the city and kill every elf inside. They were not ready to make an enemy of the Inquisition, however, and when they saw our soldiers, they pulled up short. The Inquisition diplomat, Lady Guinevere Volan, handled negotiations quite well. When presented with evidence of the Red Lyrium, which we made clear was an unholy tool of Corypheus himself, the Marchers backed down from their claims of a baseless elven rebellion and pledged to leave Wycombe in peace. They have also donated generously to the Inquisition's coffers to make clear their support for our cause. The Inquisitor's keeper is Demathorial has been installed along with a city elf and several human merchants on the new Wycombe City Council, which will rule the city fairly for both humans and elves alike. Well, mission completed. Our clan has survived. Next one. Sutherland's company delivered some very useful contacts. Their contribution has been immeasurable, and I hope they know it. I hope so too. Alright, we're going to use Cullen to repel Seabass over there.
All right.
Next one. Delicate negotiations. Here's the thing. I don't even own a mask. Thus, when the Orlesian Empress invites me to engage in real peace talks, I get nervous. I don't know what Orlesians mean when they say that, but I hear it involves poison and dancing. Perhaps both at the same time. I'm told you know Empress Celine, and she owes you for that whole saved your life business. Considering you also helped save mine, perhaps the Inquisition could help make these talks happen. Signed, King Alistair Theron. Only Josephine can facilitate the talks between the two nations. All because of some supposed bad blood. Josephine, we will see you off. Alright, the last two. Stop the rumors. From far off Montsemard, a songstress comes with lies and thoughtless jibes, insults our name. I hated her in school. She pulled my hair. We must not let her make these vulgar claims. Signed, Meriden. Cullen refuses to participate. But on the other hand, Leliana seems kind of cruel here. Seeing as how Leliana is the only one available, maybe we should go with her. Yeah, most likely you want to lead with either one of these two. Cullen will offer us no reward.
Inquisitor,
Let's send her along. Then let me fast forward the clock once more. Okay. With our help, Guard Captain Aveline took care of Sebastian's forces. Leliana's spies say he has grown deeply impatient and is making plans to retreat. Good job. The talks between Ferelden and Orlais took place in Jader, and it was not easy to keep matters from spiraling out of control. King Alistair is no diplomat, after all, and had little patience for the endless fanfare. Thankfully, the Orlesians are uninterested in more war, and we were able to smooth the way toward an eventual peace treaty. The king sent along a sword that once belonged to the Ferelden hero, King Caelanad, as thanks for what the Inquisition helped create. Thanks for that. A dire act, a lesson learned by all, so cross us not in either deed or thought. And we have the greatest hits. That weapon's interesting. Inquisitor, I have a request, a favor really. A lot of people helped me get where I am today, and I've thanked them all except one, my father, Jannar. He didn't really help exactly, for a bit is closer, but family is family. Just like lyrium can only be worked by those who can't dream the fade, I am the person I am today because my father shaped me, and I still owe him for what or for who I am. Trouble is, for what I am is castless. I can't ever go back, and everything I've ever sent has been refused. So I was hoping I could put together a package, and it could arrive in Orzammar with a little Inquisition flair, something to wow the gates and maybe get my father to look at it. That would be ever so sweet of you. Why not, Dagna? Who do we want here? I suspect that it is less the gates and more the father that is a problem. Perhaps the package should simply appear in his smithy. He can't deny it then. Or we can just send a simple notice. That could be enough. Or we can send a huge entourage to match it. How would he ever be able to ignore it after that? The rewards are otherwise almost all the same. Except with Cullen, you have the option to get a sigil. Let's send Cullen.
To work?
Well, that's everything on this side. Yep, that's everything over here. I'm just going to go ahead and set the next two characters, and then when we come back next time, we'll read through the results. A gift from the Imperial Palace. My dear Ambassador, Marquise Briala and I wish to convey our fondest wishes to the Inquisitor and all the Inquisition. Although I hope to pay a state visit to Skyhold in the near future, I fear the work of restoring that or restoring what Gaspard has damaged requires too much of my time at present. My dear Marquise has, however, found a suitable means of showing our appreciation. Her friends found evidence of a venatory plot against a Navarran nobleman, Count Octavian. She believes they intend to ambush him on the road as he rides to Navarra City to meet with King Marcus. Relations between Navarra and Orlais have never been friendly, and my interference would be taken badly. You, on the other hand, could warn the Count, deprive the Venatori of their victim, and win support for the Inquisition in Navarra at a single stroke. These two can't do anything here. Let's use Josephine's contacts in Navarra, who can carry our warning to the Count.
At your service.
And the last one. Unmask those across the sea. I had our people remove the downward pointing triangular symbols from our outposts. They have not made a reappearance, which means little. It's clear someone has an interest in the Inquisition. Someone organized with ties to those across the sea. We have eliminated the Cunari as the most obvious suspects. Nonetheless, knowing who they're not does not tell us who they are, what they're doing, or why. They're clever, we know that, and they have resources. But so do we. And they should learn that they are not to toy with the Inquisition. If we strike hard and fast, we can get this done. Or on the other hand, Cullen's just not going to do anything about it. Do we do nothing? Our best bet, however, is to use Liliana. Cullen offers no reward.
Inquisitor.
Okay, that's everyone. When next we come back, we will finish off the rest. Before we sign off, let's go head over to Sutherland and the gang. After all that adventuring, what do they have to show for it?
Give it to her now.
Not yet. It's not enough.
You know it is. You're just chicken.
If I didn't love you...
Shut it, you fool.
Inquisitor, we have something for you. We've been saving and, well, this is yours.
It's payback for all you invested, plus extra. You know, investment and such.
We just wanted to say thanks. We never would have been anything without you.
Do we take it back? Do we give it back? Or let's have them continue growing. Pay it forward.
Pay it forward, Sutherland. Find someone like you and give them a chance.
I will. I swear I will.
Don't cry again, fool. Inquisitor, you see us in the tavern? We're buying.
If that's your will, your worship. Reporting, Inquisitor. Reporting, Inquisitor.
And that's it for Sutherland and his quest chain. He started from the bottom, was absolutely nothing, and now he's here. Anyway, that's going to be it for our session tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. We didn't really get a whole lot done. It usually is kind of hard getting anything done after a major story mission. There's so much to do. And a lot of dialogue and cutscenes to see. But do join us next time. Yeah, he deserved to be his own playable character in a future game. Which makes it all the more confusing that they turned him into like a main character of a book. Yeah, a book. That's his main contribution. He becomes the protagonist of a novel instead of a game. Don't ask me why. There are so many characters that are treated just like that. It's not the first time. There have been plenty of other books in the Dragon Age universe where side characters just got plucked out and dropped into a completely separate side story and got turned into their own hero of that novel. I think they did that to Wynne. They did that to Alistair. And a couple other characters that I can't quite remember. I think Varric was also one as well. Even though, frankly, he's like a main character in like 2 games and going on 3. Anyway, that's going to be all for tonight. I have hoped you guys enjoyed watching this. Hope you guys will return for another session. We are so close to finishing this game. I want to give it maybe another week and we'll probably have this done, and then we'll move on to the DLC. The DLC content doesn't last very long, except for the last one. But really the final DLC is less DLC and more like a continuation of the ending. So if you're currently watching this on YouTube, please like the video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them down below. Let me know what you guys think. Share the video and subscribe. Hit up our playlist if you guys want to see our previous play sessions, or if you want to see more content from us, hit up our channel. I've been trying to play some newer games for the channel just to freshen up things content-wise. So who knows, maybe tomorrow if I have time during the afternoon, we'll go through something new as well. But you'll have to check back in to see what those games are. I won't quite reveal them yet. If you're over on Twitter, follow us at twitter.com/LunarlightGames. Over there you'll find deals, discounts, as well as news stories about the gaming world, as well as the odd giveaway we run from time to time. Check out the pinned post for more information, or hit up our hashtag LunarlightVault. I wonder if you guys have seen our list. We have several bundles. Those we are working our way through towards the rest of this year, and possibly even halfway into the next year as well. We'll see how those go. But of course, if you want to help sponsor our channel, you can do so by dropping a donation over at paypal.me/LunarlightGames. The link is posted down below in case you're watching later. But if not, don't worry about it. Please continue viewing our content and subscribe. Follow us over at twitch.tv/LunarlightGames and hit the notification bell across all of our platforms to get updates as soon as they're made available, or to catch whenever we go live here on YouTube. That's going to be all for tonight. Have a great Wednesday, have a great day, and have a great night. We will see you guys all again soon.